Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to take you for a tour around my Surfer SEO account so that you can see exactly what's included on the inside. Alright, here we are on the Surfer website. For those of you that don't know what Surfer is, Surfer helps you write articles that read well and rank high. Essentially what Surfer does is it's kind of like a cheat sheet. It gives you a gamified content score for your article, and it makes sure that your article has the right number of keywords, has the right number of images, the right words in the heading so that you can rank well for whatever keyword you want to. So let's jump on in. Once you've logged into your Surfer account, you'll see over here the menu on the left-hand side, and you've got a couple of tools here. So you've got your keyword research, your content editor, your audits, your domain planner, and your SERP analyzer. You've also got here your grow flow for each of your websites. And then on the home page, we have the grow flow tools broken down: keyword research, content editor, audits, domain planner, and SERP analyzer. We'll go through each of these together. So let's start off with the grow flow. Grow flow is Surfer's kind of done for you. We'll come up with good ideas of what you need to do to rank well for your website. And it breaks this down in tasks. So you've got here tasks to do this week, and every 7 days, it'll generate some new tasks. So for example, it says in this article here, what does rasterize mean and why does it matter? I'm missing 5 keywords. So what I could do is I can go to that blog article and I can add these keywords into that blog article, and that should improve that article's rankings. It's a pretty cool system where it breaks down exactly what keywords are missing, what internal links are needed in your website so that you've got more topical relevance, and it also suggests that you write some new content. For example here, sketch filter Photoshop is something that it recommends that I write, and it gives me the option to include all these keywords, and I can actually just start a content editor right away. We'll get into that a little bit later. Next we have keyword research. Keyword research essentially breaks down what pieces of content you need to rank for any given keyword. So let's go down here and have a look at one of the ones here. So for example, video editing services. If you want to rank for video editing services in the United States, it suggests that you write each of these as individual pieces of content. So you've got here different clusters of keywords that it groups together as an article. There is a customer investigation piece here, and this is great that it has the different intents. You can drop that down and actually see, okay, cool. There's 1 shopping intent, 26 informational intent, and 31 customer investigation intent, which makes sense. Video editing services, typically people that are searching for video editing services are after customer investigation. Okay, so what we could do here is we can click and open that one up, and we can actually see here how hard it is to rank for and what keyword volume we have. And then we can actually say, okay, well, this looks great, but I don't think I actually want to rank for this or this. And then we can create a content editor here and start writing our content. So at the top here, we have all clusters, and then we have content editors in progress. We have done, and we have missing. We have here 50 different blog articles that we could write. A lot of them are hard, that have the monthly traffic volume, but Surfer will tell us exactly how to write each of these articles so that we start ranking for the overall topical relevance of video editing services. And that's really what this is about. It's about topical relevance, getting topical relevance for the given keyword. Just by writing one article for video editing services, you're not going to rank. So what you need to do is you need to create different pieces of content all around video editing services so that you can rank for that overall keyword. And Surfer does a great job at breaking these down into individual clusters here. And there you have it. That is the keyword research summary. Now you will notice that once you've opened up one of the tools, the menu jumps to the top here. This is a little quirk to Surfer SEO. All right, let's jump on over to the content editor. And the content editor is a SEO guideline for your next blog article or page. So let's say, for example, that we want to get started with writing some content for the keyword video editing services. What we might want to do is sort by difficulty lowest to highest. There we go. So we have here some medium relative keyword difficulty. Okay, Let's have a look at color grading services. See here, there's not very much search volume, so we might do that one. Let's have a look at this one. Editing wedding videos. There's a nice wide spread between medium and hard here. So let's say, for example, where we decide, you know what, this is the article that we want to write and we want to create a content editor. We can click here, create content editor, and it analyzes each of these keywords, breaks them down, has a look at the SERPs, has a look at who's ranking for each of those keywords, and then it'll create a content editor specific to this blog article so that we can rank for editing wedding videos. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. All right, so if we jump on over to content editor, you will see now that editing wedding videos has appeared in your content editor. And there are 9 more other keywords that are all within that one content editor. So what Surfer's doing right here is it's looking at all different articles that are ranking for those 9 keywords, top 10 on Google in the United States. And it's compiling together exactly what's winning about each of them. And it creates a document where we have a guide as to exactly how many words, how many headings, how many paragraphs, how many images, and the exact search terms that we need to include in our article. So to get started, I might have a look at my headings over here and see that edit wedding videos or wedding video editing services needs to be used in my headings. So I might decide, you know what, let's start with a title, which is a H1 called Wedding Video Editing Services, a guide to edit wedding videos. And what we've got right there is we've actually got our second term that's been used. And you'll notice right away, our points have increased. We've gone from 6 all the way up to 36 just by including those 2 keywords into our heading right here. Surfer actually allows us to go one step further and it can suggest the headings for us. So all we need to do is press / and then go insert outline, and Surfer will analyze all the different competitors and work out exactly what headings we should be including in our blog article. And look at that, we're already at 53 out of 100. So it actually brings up different H2s and then we can write our content about each one. So next it says that we need to insert 9 to 24 images for our article to rank well. So let's just insert an image from Pixabay, wedding videos. That looks perfect right there. So let's break down exactly what goes into each of these metrics and how you can increase your content editor score. So we have here on the left-hand side, the number of words that we have in our article. So suggest that we have between 1,300 to around about 1,500 words for our article. We need to have 12 to 18 headings, at least 39 paragraphs, 9 to 24 images, and if we jump on over to here, we can actually see exactly which keywords and how many times we need to use them. Not only that, if we need to have some suggestions as to how we could use it, we can actually click on them and see an example of one of our competitors and how they've used that keyword in their article. So you might be wondering, what competitors Surfer might be looking at. So if you jump on over to Brief here, you can actually see the exact competitors' websites that are ranking well for the search term. These are the websites that Surfer is actually looking at, analyzing and working out exactly what keywords you need to write about. Next, we've got here the outline area. An outline breaks down, some different questions, some different topics. It has some suggestions for some titles, as well as some heading suggestions. Now, it actually allows us to bring in this whole paragraph. And this paragraph here, for example, is AI generated. So this isn't actually copied and pasted from our competitor. This is AI generated straight from within SurferSEO. And that's really cool because it means that if you're happy with the quality of that content, that's it, it's done for you. You've written a paragraph about best wedding video editing software, free downloads. Personally, I wouldn't be super happy about that. I would want to use a different writing tool, for example, like Jasper or ChatGPT, and write something a bit higher quality than just what Surfer is spitting out. But that's really cool that it includes it. Surfer also has some really great formatting features in here. You're able to add links straight within Surfer itself and add images and do different, listicles and all that kind of stuff. You can even clear the formatting of any given area. It's pretty great. So if you decide to sign up to Surfer, Content Editor is where you'd be spending a lot of your time. I found it fantastic to have a content score. It really gamifies the idea of getting higher quality articles. To be honest, before Surfer, I was guessing the keyword density of each article. It's been fantastic knowing exactly how many times I should be using each keyword throughout the thing to make sure it's not spammy, to make sure that I'm using each keyword enough. Content Editor it's really game changing to the way that you write SEO optimized content. But Keyword Editor isn't the only thing that Surfer's known for. So let's jump on over to the next tab here, which is the audit. So let's assume that we've written and published that article. What we can do is we can actually audit some already existing articles. So we audit a specific URL, a single URL, with a specific or single keyword. And then we can change this so that it's in each city or in a country so that we've got results specific to that one area. So if I come down here, for example, we have a website called Outdoor Labs with J. And for this article, Outdoor Labs with J / cold weather cycling, which is all about cycling in cold, I've entered the keyword cycling cold at the top here. And we have here a content score specific to this article. So if I go show details, it'll actually break down the competitors. So the person that is number 1 on Google has this content score of 59, whilst REI has a content score of 55, and so on and so forth. Now you'll notice there that our content score isn't so bad compared to the competitors here, but I know for a fact that our domain authority is significantly less. So the only way that we're going to improve ourselves in those SERPs is by increasing our content score. So if I scroll down here, we've got internal links. So these are other URLs on our site that could be linking to this article. So we have here, similar to the terms in the content editor, how many times we're using the keyword winter cycling and then the suggested amount. So for example, we need to remove winter cycling 1 to 4 times. That might seem crazy to some people that you actually have to remove keywords, but it actually makes sense if it looks like it's spammy to Google. If you look at the word count here, we've written 1,700 words. It looks like everybody else is around about that 1,200 to 2,400 mark. So let's jump up here and we can select competitors and we can actually turn that person off. So you jump up onto here and actually have a look at the different competitors. Now that person that wrote the big 10,000 word article is here. They have a content score of 80, but a domain authority of 1. And you'll notice very quickly there that the person that's ranking number 1, their content score is only 59, second is 55, but the domain authority is super high at 8 and 9 here and 5. If we have a domain authority of, let's say, 1 or 2, maybe the only way of doing it is by having that high content score and having a lot of words. This information here it's invaluable as an SEO, and it helps you craft your on-page SEO really well. So you can have a look at some of the other elements down here. It says, for example, add 1 exact keyword into the H1. So an exact keyword is the keyword that's mentioned here. So cycling in cold. If I want to rank for cycling cold, it makes sense. In my H1, I need to have cycling in cold. And if we keep going down a little bit further, we have here how many paragraph elements we need to include, how many times we need to add images, and also our use of strong or bold elements. We've got here our meta title and our meta description. And then down the bottom here, we have time to first byte. So this here is your page speed. You've got your page speed here, which you can see we're a whole lot slower than the rest of the competitors. And finally, down the bottom here, we have show missing backlinks. Now, personally, I don't use this. We've got here, it recommends that, we get a link from The Guardian and all these other people. A lot of these backlinks would cost a lot of money. And the fact that 4 of our competitors have them is probably just because they're a huge site. Guardian's a huge site. Guardian's linking to them. It's probably not the way that we're gonna go about increasing the quality of our content. And just anecdotally, I have seen websites with a domain authority of 1 and 2 outrank some really high authority sites just by getting great surfer scores, making sure that the content is relevant and on point with the searcher's intent, And that's really what the audit is about here. So if we jump on over to the next thing here, we have Domain Planner. Domain Planner allows us to enter in our domain and connect it with Search Console to see exactly what articles are doing well within our website and what could be improved. So for example here, we have the article, The Best Bike Helmets for Afro Hair in 2023. We can see here that the monthly search volume is only 250. We're getting 50 as the traffic and our average position is 10. Now, if we open this up, we can actually see what our main keyword is, our position for that, as well as a heap of other keywords that we're ranking for. This is super helpful because we can see here, helmets for afros, for example. It's telling us you should add a little bit of extra content about that, and that will heavily increase your traffic, or it could heavily increase your traffic. It's great. I think overall the Domain Planner is really good just to have an overall bird's eye view of your content. You can scroll down really quickly and say, okay, cool, 77, 45, 71, 61, 52. So we have quite a few articles here that could be improved. Let's have a quick look at the search volume. Okay, this has got 9,000 searches per month. So that would be a really great article to improve. So we've got here our main keyword, but the monthly search volume is very low, even though we're ranking quite high. And we've got here best mountain bike helmets, just period. And that has a lot larger search volume. So maybe it might be a great idea to have best mountain bike helmets for round head. And that way we're actually ranking for best mountain bike helmets as well as helmets for round head. As I said before, Surfer's Domain Planner is fantastic just for that big bird's eye view and kind of looking at your content from afar and just deciding, okay, I should be focusing on this article and this article and this article. And those are the ones that I need to improve for the overall website to increase. I also find that in a day of AI generated content, I find that we're creating new articles all the time, but actually improving the articles that we currently have already on our website is a fantastic way to just increase our rankings for something that doesn't need to be re-indexed again. Domain Planner also gives us the ability to create a content editor with this button down here. And what that'll do is it will open up a content editor, import all your blog content from this URL, and it'll have the content score according to these keywords here. This is a great way to just kind of rewrite your existing blog content, especially if you want to go after multiple keywords rather than opening up the audit and actually just doing one keyword. So next we have the SERP Analyzer. And to be honest, I use the SERP Analyzer all the time. SERP Analyzer finds correlations between the positions of the first page of Google and on-page factors. So let's jump on into an example. We have here books on ADHD in the United States. All right, so once you're inside a SERP Analyzer, you will see all the top 49 results for books on ADHD in Google, assuming that it was searched in the United States. On the right-hand side here, you have the content score for each of those articles, and you also have the domain authority. Now, this is a fantastic tool to have to see how difficult a given keyword is. I can very quickly have a look at books on ADHD and say, is this going to be hard to rank for? If our website, for example, has a domain authority of 1, can we actually break into this top 10? And the way that I normally look at that is I say, okay, are there any other examples of people that are in the top 10 results that have a domain authority of, let's say, 1? And yes, there are. So there are actually people here that are ranking for books on ADHD with a domain authority of 1. And some of them don't even have high content scores. So if we had a high content score, for example, like 80, 85, 90, and we also had, a domain authority of 1 to 3, we could definitely see ourselves fitting in somewhere around about here, which is between 3 to 5. And this is just great to know from the point of view of, should we go after this keyword or not? There's some really helpful other tools that the SERP Analyzer has in here. For example, it shows and breaks down in the top 1 to 10 results how many words. So you can see here, for example, the word count. it's pretty consistently around about that 1,700 mark. I wouldn't want to write anything that was too extensive. There's no point writing a big 3,000 word blog article. It doesn't seem like it actually would help here. If we jump on over to keywords, it shows each of the keywords and how many times they were used. So for example, top 10 similar keywords we have here. Okay, self-care books on ADHD, that keyword has been used 40% of the time in similar SERPs. We have overlapping pages on best ADHD workbooks for adults in 3 different pages, and it can just break down all these keywords for you. Now you can also change things up here. For example, you can say, okay, I don't want to know about the words, I want to know about the characters. Tell me about the missing common words and phrases. And really, you've got everything here. You've got how many bold elements there are, all different things. So you can actually like break down your website and what you are trying to rank for, and actually have a look at this and see, okay, if the top 10 people are all doing this one thing, I should be doing the exact same thing. Then Google's gonna see my content as a high content score, and it's gonna push me to the top results of Google. You've also got here questions, popular words. I rarely use the questions, and I find that it's actually empty a lot of the time. Popular words is interesting. You've got all density numbers here and everything. It gets pretty nerdy, but you can actually break down each of the results with their density for each one. Common phrases. So for example, here we've got best books, helpful books, new information, all that kind of stuff. But really what I use SERP Analyzer for the absolute most is if there's something that I'm thinking, okay, this might be a great keyword for our new blog article. Let's have a quick look at the difficulty. Let's chuck it into the SERP Analyzer and see, okay, is there a chance that I'm actually even gonna make it to the top 10 results? Because it doesn't matter how great the keyword is, if the competition is just way too high, you're not gonna break into the top 10, and it doesn't really matter in that case. So there you have it. That is all the features of Surfer AI broken down as of now. If you need to know how to use it further, there is a how-to guide here, which opens up their docs. I've found that the customer service for Surfer is amazing. They get back to you in about 24 hours. Sometimes 48 hours. They answer every question you have. Really great customer support. And there you have it, a comprehensive look at every single feature in SurferSEO. If you decide to sign up to SurferSEO, feel free to click the link in the description below, and that helps the channel out hugely. Much appreciated. Adios amigos, and have a good one.